I am obviously acutely aware that my presence at this podium represents a few firsts. I am a Black, gay, immigrant woman, the first of all three of those to hold this position. How are we? Good to see all of you. It's an honor to be here with all of you. A lot of familiar faces in the room, a lot of new faces. And President Trump is back, and the golden age of America has most definitely begun. The Senate has already confirmed 5 of President Trump's exceptional cabinet nominees.
Another perfect example of why DEI needs to go. Pay attention. When Biden's press secretary got up there, what was the first thing she was talking about? Race, gender, sexual orientation, yada, yada, yada. Trump's press secretary gets up there and actually starts talking about the Trump administration. One is focused on things that aren't their job, race, gender, sexual orientation, and the other is actually focused on things that are their job. Biden's press secretary led with her race, gender, sexual orientation, all that. Trump's led with focusing on what her job is, talking about the Trump administration, representing that administration, and answering questions. It's just a night and day difference. I am glad that we no longer have an administration prioritizing DEI. It's time for that to go. Get it out of here.
500 arrests ICE has made so far since President Trump came back into office. Can you just tell us the numbers? How many have a criminal record versus those who are just in the country illegally?
All of them, because they illegally broke our nation's laws and therefore they are criminals as far as this administration goes. I know the last administration didn't see it that way, so it's a big culture shift in our nation to view someone who breaks our immigration laws as a criminal, but that's exactly what they are.
It's so nice to actually have someone now as press secretary that can answer questions. I remember vividly Kayleigh McEnany, right? And how she was able to answer questions. She always came with this humongous notebook ready for any questions that the media had. Going from that to Karine Jean-Pierre, I'm like, damn, it was a night and day difference. Or, sorry, Jen Psaki. Jen Psaki started it first with the Biden administration. I'll circle back. Remember, she kept circling back and never came to you. that's what Jen Psaki is known for. But it's so refreshing to, as you saw from the intro, you saw how Karine Jean-Pierre started her press secretary briefing. I want to address the elephant in the room, that I'm aware of the significance of this moment. I don't care what it means for you. And this is why I said, like, DEI, in a way, I believe it's some form of narcissistic kind of self-aggrandizement, just from the way that I was born. All of a sudden, I'm special. When I come into a job, I'm the first to do this, I'm the first to do that. Nah. And the way that I agree with the commentator, the way that Caroline Leavitt came in and she did not lead with her gender, it's so refreshing. I just want you to do your job. It's obvious what you are. You don't need to tell us what you are. I don't need you to know who you slept with. I don't need to know your whole family lineage. Just give me my information that I'm looking for. And I'm hearing a lot of people saying they're now looking forward to the press briefings now. And there's a lot of big news here. She issued a warning that she will call out the reporters if they feel like they've been lying, which, these reporters have been lying. These reporters come out with biased interpretations of what's going on, like what's going on with the freeze, the government, the foreign aid freezes, right? So I want to show you a segment of her explaining this to the legacy media outlets, and I will follow up more with her job as press secretary and how many people are seeing this as an upgrade compared to what we left with. Let's take a look.
Miller.
Thanks, Caroline. A question that we've asked your predecessors of both parties in this job. When you're up here in this briefing room speaking to the American public, do you view yourself and your role as advocating on behalf of the president, or providing the unvarnished truth that is, not to lie, not to obfuscate to the American people?
I commit to telling the truth from this podium every single day. I commit to speaking on behalf of the President of the United States. That is my job. And I will say it's very easy to speak truth from this podium when you have a president who is implementing policies that are wildly popular with the American people, and that's exactly what this administration is doing. It's correcting the lies and the wrongs of the past 4 years, many of the lies that have been told to your faces in this very briefing room. I will not do that. But since you brought up Truth Seek, I would like to point out, while I vowed to provide the truth from this podium, we ask that all of you in this room hold yourselves to that same standard. We know for a fact there have been lies that have been pushed by many legacy media outlets in this country about this president, about his family, and we will not accept that. We will call you out when we feel that your reporting is wrong or there is misinformation about this White House. So yes, I will hold myself to the truth, and I expect everyone in this room to do the same.
And Carol,
And I know I'm not showing a lot of clips, but I kind of want to get through this information because I got an interesting clip for you guys. So she also warned during that press briefing that a lot of Trump's cabinet cabinet picks will also be doing, making themselves more accessible by the media. She also announced that she will allow new media to be allowed to take space in the presser room, which they already received 7,400 requests from independent news guy, content creators, social influencers that do political content. They already received 7,400 press requests, which is good. This is a good thing. Like, imagine me. I know I don't qualify because I don't have a big enough following. Maybe you guys can change that by liking the video. A shameless way of asking for likes and shares. But I digress. I know I'm not there yet to be able to ask for a press request. But I'd love to go up there and be like, hey, like, how do you feel? Do you feel like this president's been negatively affected by legacy media? What prompted you to allow news media, independent content creators, to be in this presser with these guys who got billions of dollars behind them? That would be a good question, and it'll allow the legacy media to hear more about themselves. I'm digressing. But the warning she gave them, hey, we will call you out, is something that I think she's showing personally. Check out this exchange between Good Morning America's, I forgot his name already, guys. I'm sorry. I'm bad with names. But he's very recognizable. Like, I recognize his face. Let's take a look into this to this exchange.
But is there any concern that we risk losing people with years of experience like doctors and let's say scientists?
Well, most doctors who work in actual hospitals and medical institutions have to show up to the office. We know that employees are more productive and more efficient when they are working in an in-office environment, and that's what this administration expects, and I think that's what American taxpayers expect. Don't forget, it's the American people who are funding this government, and they deserve people who are actually showing up to work on their behalf.
Well, but is there any...
Well, good answer, right? Good answer. Hey, why are you forcing all these people back in office? You're not entitled to this job. You work for the American people, correct? And this is the funny part, right? And this is why I said, like, it's such a night and day difference. Give me a sec. I'm trying to get clips ready for you guys. It's such a night and day difference with Caroline Leavitt. Like, questions are actually being answered. Things that the American people actually cared about are being answered. You want to see one? How about the drones, right?
From President Trump directly, an update on the New Jersey drones. After research and study, the drones that were flying over New Jersey in large numbers were authorized to be flown by the FAA for research and various other reasons. Many of these drones were also hobbyists, recreational, and private individuals that enjoy flying drones. In time, it got worse due to curiosity. This was not the enemy. A statement from the President of the United States to start this briefing with some news from President.
So President Trump promised, hey, yeah. Well, can we get somebody to check on that? First press briefing, questions answered. Oh boy, what a difference. Questions actually being answered? What? You got to pinch yourself. You're so shocked. You have to pinch yourself. That's how shocked I am. That I got to pinch myself. I'm like, questions being answered? What? No dodging the question. No, I can't get into specifics. Karine Jean-Pierre, man, I'm sorry. They set that lady up for failure. Right? Trump administration to offer 2 million federal workers the chance to take a deferred resignation with a severance package of 8 months of pay and benefits. 5 to 10% of the workforce is estimated to quit, which could lead to $100 billion in savings. As you know, the news press and the media, they're going crazy over this. And as you guys saw my video, Trump's deputy chief of policy got into a heated exchange with Jake Tapper when he tries to point out how a lot of these people who work in government are heavily left wing. They're dominated by Democratic supporters. And Jake Tapper tried to like obfuscate, try to make it seem like, oh, you're just trying to demonize people as bias. And we already know bias can bleed into anyone's work. Journalism, perfect example. If you want a perfect example of how someone who says, oh, it doesn't matter if an institution is dominated by left-wing political donators and political supporters, it won't affect our work. All you have to do is look at the Gemini AI, the image generator from Google, and saw how it was creating diverse history, even though diversity had no point in history. The founding fathers, George Washington was black, according to Gemini AI. And it was worked by a bunch of wokies. 98% of Google donated to the Democratic Party. Google is a very left-wing organization. So their software developers went in there, tried to develop an AI bot. They say, oh, we were objective. We had peer review process to make sure that no bias was able to get in and corrupt the Gemini AI. Then you ask, can I get a picture of white families? Oh, this image is insensitive towards that, but we can give you this one, a multiracial family. And people are like, yo, okay, can I get a black family? People was able to get all black family. People were like, what is this? People were like, oh, can I get a picture of George Washington? And it showed black people in the back. I'm like, what? This is wokeism for you, right? And these people, they're getting caught with their pants hanging down now because I want to show you this clip. I think it's been going viral around the interwebs for a while. It's her, exposing, hey, why you guys are freezing foreign aid? Why you guys are freezing foreign aid? Here's her answer.
Why impose this pause with so little notice? Why not give organizations more time to plan for the fact that they are about to lose, in some cases, really crucial federal funding, at least for a period of time?
There was notice. It was the executive order that the president signed. There's also a freeze on hiring, as you know, a regulatory freeze, and there's also a freeze on foreign aid. And this is, again, incredibly important to ensure that this administration is taking into consideration how hard the American people are working. And their tax dollars actually matter to this administration. Just during this pause, DOJ and OMB have actually found that there was $37 million that was about to go out the door to the World Health Organization, which is an organization, as you all know, that President Trump, with the swipe of his pen in that executive order, is no longer wants the United States to be a part of. So that wouldn't be in line with the president's agenda. DOJ and OMB also found that there was about to be 50 million taxpayer dollars that went out the door to fund condoms in Gaza. That is a preposterous waste of taxpayer money.
I mean, the reporters, we all walked in right into that one, right? And it's so funny, right? Is that this is why the Democrats have such a low favorability rate as well, is because the media continues to let them pretend that they're so much better than what they actually are. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why there's such a disconnect between how the reality of the situation is versus what their imagination is, right? Biden, in every speech from 2021 to 2024, I get it. Prices are high. My dad had a kitchen table. Not a joke. My word, as a Biden. Democrats, oh my God, did you see that empathy? Besides, it's only money. Democrats, 1 week into Trump's term. Why is the prices of eggs still so high? The media play these games, and I equate Democrats to children almost. It's like children that you never really discipline. You let them believe that they're better than who they really are. You never give them negative feedback. So they never get hit with reality until they find out I'm not as good as I am. Oh, these people, there's something wrong with them because they can't see my talent. They can't see what my worth. But you can't, like, comparatively, you're not meeting expectation. The Democrats are that kids, oh my God, Jimmy, you're so good at basketball. You could be an NBA All-Star. Yeah, Mom. He never practices. He only takes the ball casually. Versus another kid where it's like, if you want to be good enough for the NBA, you got to practice every day. You got to work at this. This is something like you have to spend years crafting. You got to work on this. Your weaknesses are that. Oh my God, why are you so harsh on your kid? But I'm telling my kid the truth. I'm giving him the opportunity to correct or to make adjustments so he can be better in the future. But if I never give those criticisms to my kid, if I never give him those critiques to my kid, if I never give my kid this insight or this feedback, I deny him an opportunity to be better than where he is in his current state. And this is the Democratic Party. This is what the mainstream media is doing to the Democratic Party. That's why I said that, and I'll end it off with this thought. This is my final thoughts. This is why I said that Donald Trump's adversity is really his advantage. His adversity made him better. Losing an election made him better. But now it's the Democrats' turn. How are you going to respond to this loss? From what I can see, they're not responding really well here. They're sitting here crying about how women are going to get blueberries because illegals aren't picking blueberries from their crop. Like, these are the kind of narratives that the media is going towards instead of talking about the real issues that were highlighted in the debate between Jake Tapper and Stephen Miller's conversation about how illegals are actually being taken advantage of by corporations, and corporations are using them as a way to get cheap labor. The Democrats and liberals, they don't want to talk about that conversation. So they deflect and complain about, well, if we don't have these people who Americans don't want to do the job for, how are women going to get blueberries for smoothies? This is the argument. This is the argument that they're going with. It's so ridiculous. But I'm so happy that we finally got a press secretary that is actually inspiring trust in the American people. That we don't feel like she's a DEI hire. We don't feel like she was just given this job because she's a woman. You saw her throughout the campaign. She earned this job. And this is what more people want to see. This is why people don't want DEI. We don't want you to ruin competent people who happens to be a certain victim class, according to the Democratic perception and lens. But I digress. Let me know your thoughts about the new press secretary. Do you like her? How she ranks compared to the past press secretaries that we had in previous administrations? I would like to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share if you feel so inclined, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.